Hi, Mr. Peyton. I'm Alejandro Pino from Colombia, from
Hello.
Publimetro. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
Likewise. How you doing?
Fine, fine. Congratulations for the movie. Really entertaining.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, let's start. Without AntMan, there is no end game. Everybody knows that. And
Yes.
in this movie, you play with the importance of Scott Lang in the MCU. Do you believe this movie honors the character?
Yeah, I think Quantumania certainly honors the character of Scott Lang and progresses his story. We got to make a third Ant-Man movie, which obviously we're all thrilled about. And I love the idea that we've been on this journey with Scott Lang since he was essentially a nobody, an ex-con, working at Baskin-Robbins ice cream. And he gets sucked into this larger world. At first it was Hank Pym's world and this Pym particle technology. And then eventually to becoming some version of an Avenger, and now sort of having Scott and Hope be front and center, the first Avengers who come into contact with one of the all-time great Marvel Comics villains, Kang the Conqueror. That's been a great journey to be a part of and to sort of guide that character through. We've seen Scott go from a guy in the margins to now kind of, approaching elder statesman status in the Marvel universe. So I think for Paul and myself and all the actors in this movie who've been with us for these 8 or 9 years, it's been really gratifying.
Let's talk about Kang, because you, of course, put it on the table. You are the responsible of introduce the Conqueror version of Kang, the great villain, as you said, in this phase. What do the fans have to expect about the Jonathan Majors interpretation?
Well, listen, casting Jonathan Majors in the movie was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my working life. I mean, Jonathan is like, he's such an exciting actor, and I've seen everything he's ever done. And the first thing I saw him in was a movie called Hostiles with Christian Bale. And he was, it was a very small role, and he was lying in a bed dying as Christian Bale was talking to him. They were friends in the movie. And it was Christian Bale's scene, but you couldn't take your eyes off the guy lying in the bed, and it was Jonathan. He just has this presence, and he's, an incredibly a classically trained actor. And he came in and really embodied Kang the Conqueror. We needed somebody who was physically imposing, someone who was hyper intelligent, and someone who could capture all the facets of Kang's personality. Kang he's a man out of time, and he's kind of a broken man, and he's forced to sort of not live life in a straight line, but, in these sort of time loops. And he's had so many experiences that he's been kind of worn down by them. And, he says to Scott Lang when he meets him, like, "You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?" And suddenly that opens up with this one line, this idea of like, oh, holy shit, he's fought the Avengers before? How many times? So many times, apparently he can't keep it straight. So that's a fascinating angle to take on this villain. So our goal was to really dimensionalize this guy and take him from the Kang the Conqueror in the comic books to make him a really, a villain. Like, to me, all the best villains where you kind of, there's a part of you, he's a bad guy, but you empathize with this person. And we also obviously had the opportunity to divulge that there's a specific reason Kang the Conqueror is in the quantum realm, and that he had a past relationship with one of our heroes, with Janet Van Dyne, Michelle Pfeiffer's character. And that seemed like really fertile ground to sort of make this, this encounter with Kang to be frightening, but also it has a very, very personal aspect and real ramifications for our heroes.
I want to talk about the photography in this film. It's amazing. What was your inspiration for this visual impact of the quantum realm?
Well, we knew we wanted this movie to be even more epic than the first 2 Ant-Man movies. I was fortunate enough to work with Bill Pope, the cinematographer, who I have admired for many, many years. He shot The Matrix, and he shot Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. He shot so many fantastic movies over the years, and he was thrilled to do it. So we set out and we had to create the entire quantum realm, the look of it, the feel of it, what the sort of ecosystems were, populating it with creatures and different types of aliens and beings down there, and how we brought it to life. We shot at Pinewood in the UK, these massive stages, and we built these insane sets, and we worked a little bit in the volume, ILM's stagecraft technology, and then we did some traditional blue screen and green screen. But we wanted to use sort of every tool in the toolkit to bring it to life, because it had to be vibrant, and it had to be an altogether different set of landscapes and environments than anything you've seen in the MCU.
Mr. Reed, in the name of all the fans, I'm a fan, I have to ask this. This is my last question. What happened with Louis?
Well, listen, as we are coming into this movie, there's a lot of story to tell here. You know, we have Scott, Hope, Hank, Janet, and now 18-year-old Cassie introducing Kang, and of course, meeting all these insane characters we meet in the quantum realm. And early on, when you're scripting, there's sort of just, you know, there's not enough room to accommodate everything. But I feel like it's safe to say the ex-con guys are still out there, and they're still doing good work, you know, with the company that they started with Scott Lang. So, you know, who knows what'll happen in the future.
Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure for me.
Likewise. Thank you.